So this first section, adding polynomials, I want you to call that section 1. All right. And I'm going to do this first one. So when you're adding, you're just looking for the like terms. So what goes with the p squared?
Yeah.
2p squared. So, and this is really 1. So 1 plus 2 is 3 p squared. You're just literally adding stuff together. All right. What else is going to go together? Good. And they're both negative, so you have to be careful with that. -9 and -4, -13p. And then 3 minus 12 is -9. So if you are adding, just look for the stuff that's the same, like terms, and combine them together is all that I have to say about that. I'm going to fill this one in when I take a picture of it and post it. It'll be up there, so you can always do that for next time. Now this one, we're kind of like given the answer and we're missing part of the question. Which number should go in that blank to make the equation true? You really just need to look at the x squared. So you have 3x squared plus what x squared would give you 7x squared. So 4, 3 plus 4 is 7. That's all that is. It's just kind of asked in a weird way. All right, and then we'll do both of these since they're the harder ones and they have words with them. The sum, that means adding, of two binomials is this. Do you understand how that's the answer? The sum is this, okay? So you have something plus something equals this 8x squared plus 14. I would just set it up like that. When you add two things together, you get 8x squared plus 14. Now, hold on a second. One of them is 5x squared minus 2. So that's what goes on that blank. You're trying to find the missing one. So it's like the one we just did. Don't stare off into space. You have to, like, part of math class is going to be me talking to you. All right. So we have to figure out what goes on that blank. So 5 plus what is going to give you 8? 3. So we have 3x squared. And then -2, this is tricky because it's negative. -2 plus what is going to give you 14? Oh, good. Nice job. 16. That's your answer. All right. So you're being given the answer, you're looking for part of the question. And then this one, a triangle has side lengths of 4x, 7x squared, and x plus 3 determine the perimeter. How do you get a perimeter? Add them all together. All right. So 4x plus 7x plus, that's just 1x. So 4 plus 7 plus 1. Good. 12x. And then 2 plus 3 is 5.
I know that.
Yeah, when we get halfway through. All right, subtracting polynomials, I want you to call that section 2. These just have one extra step. You copy the first part down, like, hey, Miss Cole, it looks like you literally just rewrote that. Sure did. All right, and you take the negative and distribute it through there. So everything is just going to flip-flop. Do not be too proud to write this out. People try to do it in their head and then lose track of the negative signs, all right? It'll be minus x squared, and then what? Yeah, positive 5x, and then -7. Good, perfect. Everything just is opposite for that second one. And then you put the like terms together. So 3x squared minus 1x squared would be 2x squared. All right, and then what else? Keep it going. What else goes together there? Yeah, 2x and 5x is, so there, your favorite number. All right, and then -1 and -7 is -8. And you'd have a calculator, right? I will fill this one in when I take the picture. It'll be up there. All right. I think the next section is the algebra tiles. Yes. All right. So this is like drawing picture time. All right. So we're going to call this section 3. To review, what's the big square?
X squared.
X squared. The rectangle is x, and then the little one, 1. Perfect. Do you remember the little virtual ones we did? We played with those. All right, draw algebra tiles to represent the answer for the first subtraction problem in the box above. I'm going to write what it was so that we have it. It's 2x squared plus 7x minus 8. We're just going to draw tiles to represent that. Okay, I just grabbed it from the other side of the paper. So 2x squared, you're going to have 2 of the big squares. And then 7x, so you're going to have 7 of the rectangles. So like doodling in math class.
I think this is not least favorite.
The tiles. Well, we're about to do a self-assessment, so you know, you can rank it that way. And then to do -8, you're gonna have 8 of the little ones, but what? Shade them in, good. To indicate, I mean, they would be red, but I'm not getting out a red pen to color these in, just color them. That's it, it's just a representation of that. All right, so now we're gonna do that the other way around. We're gonna write out what this means. So what do you think for this first one?
2x, 2.
2x squared, good.
Minus
-x, good, that's the first one. Plus 3x, good. Plus 2. It doesn't ask you to actually work it out. Just what does that represent? We're just representing it. All right, and then the last one of those, draw algebra tiles that represent the product. Hey guys, what does product mean? Multiplication. This is the one where you put one along the top and one along the side, all right? So we're gonna have x plus 2. Oh geez, did I make this 6? Can I change that to a 4? So we don't have to draw 6 of them?
Okay.
Let me do that. All right, and then the other side, you're gonna have x and then 4. See, I can barely fit 4 in there.
I can't stop thinking about how stupid we are.
There's a recording.
Sorry.
If that picks up on the recording, I can't use it. All right, and then you're gonna fill this in. So this would be your big square, which represents x squared. And then you're gonna have 2 x's over here. And then 4 x's over here. I'm not good at drawing these. I'm better with the virtual ones. All right, and then you'll have your little squares filling in this part. So just for the sake of being thorough, let's just say what the answer would be. What is represented by that inside part? X squared, good, plus, yeah, x squared plus 6x plus 8, good. X squared plus 6x plus 8. All right, and then we'll just do one from each of these sections too. We're gonna call this section 4. This is basically just a bunch of distributing. Let me do this second one because it has a y in it. Yeah, you are really good at this. You just got to stay organized, right? So we're going to distribute through these parentheses.
Yeah.
So you multiply the coefficients, you're going to add the exponents, all right? So 2 times 5 is 10. And then you would have x to the what? 4, good, x to the 4th. And then what else is kind of like just there? Y, good, perfect. Then you just go on to the next one. Minus, it would be 2x to the 3rd, because that doesn't combine with anything, but then you would have y times what? This is the one that's been getting you guys though. Y times y. 2, y squared. 1 plus 1 is 2. So like y times y is y squared. It's just the ones aren't written. You can always write them in if you want to, all right? And then minus 2 times 6 is 12. And then what else is like just there?
Wouldn't that cancel out though? Because one is positive.
Nope. And then what else is here? We're not done with this. Yep, x cubed y, x to the 3rd y. All right. Which one of these do you want me to do? I'm going to do one or the other in each section here. One. Okay, because that has a y in it as well. So that I'm trying to do like the harder ones for you, save the easier ones for you to do on your end. All right, so same process. -4 times 2 is -8. And then you'll have x to the what? 3rd, good. And then y.
Yeah,
Okay, now just make sure your answer's right. If you worked ahead of me, that's fine. Just make sure your answer's right. All right, for the next one, -4 times 3 is -12.
squared y.
Good, x squared, y. You even got the squared, nice job. And then the last one, -4 times -4, positive 16, good. And then the x and the y, nice. Now you just need to hold on to that until 2 days from now when I hand you the test, okay? All right, and then out of these two, which one do you want me to do? I think this one might be the harder one. All right, so you're gonna distribute the 2x through those parentheses. That's gonna give you negative 10 x to the fourth. Perfect. Plus, all right, 2 times 7, 14 xy. Good. And then plus the rest of it. That part you just have to copy down. Sometimes math class is like that. My pep talk is anyone could rewrite the same thing that's there, so just don't be lazy and do it, okay? Then you're gonna find the like terms. So the x to the fourths are gonna go together. What will that give you when you combine them? Good, negative 2x to the fourth, and they don't change. Once you're combining them, it doesn't change from x to the fourth. Good, and then perfect, plus 20xy. All right, so what section are we on? I think this is number 5. So call that number 5. So these are the ones where you can't just distribute. You're gonna have either a 2 by 2 box or a 2 by 3 box. So this one would be 2 by 2. Draw it big enough that you can actually write inside of it. I get some people that are drawing these like super tiny boxes and then you don't have space inside of it. So make it big enough that you can actually write inside. And then one of them goes along the top, one of them goes along the side, and you just use that to stay organized. So it's gonna go in the first little window. 15x squared. See, whenever it's in the little box thing, we don't have trouble remembering x squared. Do you want to write this down with me? It'd be super cool. Thank you. Means even more to me that you're doing it even though you don't want to. All right, what's gonna go in the second little window? Yep, negative 10x. And then this one would be 21x. And then 7 times negative 2 is negative 14. Good. And then the diagonal ones are going to go together. It doesn't change once you get to this step. It's going to stay x. All right, so it'll be 15x squared. What is that? 11x minus 14. That's been going really well. So I think this next one, I'm just going to set it up for you. Do you see how it's 2x minus 3 squared? I call it a twin. Just means that you're going to have 2 of them. And then you just do the exact same thing. Do we need me to finish that one up or have you guys got it? Okay, I only need to do enough so that you understand what's going on. Same thing with this one. You would draw a 2 by 2 square little window and set up your problem. 4x plus 8, 7x plus 9. You're just multiplying them together. All right, this one's a little different because these are both x squared. So let's actually do this one. We'll work this one the whole way out. So you're going to put 6x squared plus 2 and 6x squared minus 2. And then we'll do the one below that too, because that one's a 2 by 3. So when you multiply these, 6 times 6, 36, and you add your exponents. So what would you get on the x? 4. Good. 2 plus 2 is 4 is what happened there. All right. What's going to go in this little window when you multiply these two? 12 x squared. Good. Perfect. And then in this one, negative 12x squared. And then in the last one, 2 times negative 2, negative 4. So what is going to happen to these? They cancel out, so you just won't even write them. And your answer is just what's left. Where's minus 4? Perfect. And we'll do the one below that too. Do you see how that's 2 by 3? Right. So you have to notice that, like when you're taking the test, I'm not going to be up here explaining it to you going, hey, do you see that that's 2 by 3? Like you're going to have to notice that. Although you guys have done really well on that. And a lot of you got like either part or most of the way through the bonus one on your quiz that was 3 by 3.
But I got like the easy part of this one.
That is life, you know. It was 3 by 3. I think you got part of it though, didn't you? I wouldn't give you 3 by 4. That would be really big. All right. So what's going to go in this one? 6 times 3, 18x to the third. All right. And then in this one, 6 times 5, 30, x times x, x2, x squared, x2 the second, whatever. All right, and then in this one, negative 12x. Now for the rest of these, you're just multiplying a -1 to each of them. So the only thing that's going to change is they'll flip-flop their sign. This is going to be minus 3x squared, and then minus 5x, and then what for the last one? 2, yeah, plus 2. Will you stop it? Pick up a pencil and write this down with me, please. It's like my job to make sure that you're being successful. All right, so these diagonal ones are going to go together. Again, once you get to this step, you're not changing them at all. They stay the same, right? So it's 18x cubed. And then put these together, what will you get? Yeah, 27x squared, good. I knew what you meant. All right, and then put these together. That's tricky because they're both negative. Negative 12 and negative 5. Negative 17x, good, plus 2. Perfect. All right, and then this section is the one that we did last time. It was the dividing. Call this number 6. You're going to recopy the top part. Hey, Ms. Cole, looks like you just rewrote it. Yep. And then you divide them both by 7x. Don't be too proud to write it. You try to do it in your head, it's not going to go well. I know when we played the Quizlet, a lot of you were doing it in your head. That's because you had choices, like it was multiple choice. Do you know what I'm saying? If you don't have choices to look at, it's really not something you can do in your head, all right? 14 divided by 7. 2. And then you subtract your exponents. So this would be x to the 5th. Good. That's really a 1 then. Minus, all right, and then 21 divided by 7, 3 squared. Good. 3 minus 1 gives you 2. This one's the same thing, it's just written in words. It says the area of a rectangle is given by this. The width is 5x. What's the length? Well, if you take the area and divide by the width, it's going to give you the length. So again, just don't be too proud to like write it. I'm writing it too. The tests are a lot easier for me to grade if all your answers are right. And then you're happy and I'm happy and your parents are happy and everybody's happy. I'm glad you think so. All right, so what do you get for this first one? 3, good, and then x to the 3rd, perfect, plus 4, just x, good, minus 2. Now look, the x squareds cancel, so you won't write any x's. They cancel out, they are just gone. Yep, so just -2. So you just kind of missed that one page, just flip to the back, all right? So these are your flashback questions. We're gonna call this number 7. I'm gonna do all of these because they're the review questions. Now let me share my screen because you can do this first one in the calculator, all right? I'm just gonna type it exactly like it looks. So you ready? Just please watch. All right, f of x equals, what is it? 4x squared plus 2x minus 6. Come down to the next line. It's f of, what is it? -1, boom, there's your answer.
I've always wondered how to do.
Just type it in the calculator. Can you do that for me? Type that in the calculator and get the right answer? All right, -4. Well, there's nothing to forget. You type that and then you type that. Let's try this one. What's the slope of this line? 0. Okay, good. 0. If it was vertical, it would be undefined. Beautiful. And then remember your Hoy Vux. When you write the equation, 0 slope means y equals, and where's the line at? 3. Y equals 3. If it was vertical, it would be x equals whatever. Do you remember the Quizlet with the horizontal vertical lines and I just drilled you, made you do it over and over again? All right, remember Hoy Vux. All right, write this in slope intercept form. That's your y equals mx plus b, and then state the slope in the y-intercept. Here's how I expect you to do this on your test. We're going to go over to our calculator. I'm going to clear out all this stuff. We're going to type that in. What is it? 5x minus 2y equals 8. And I'm going to zoom in and we're going to count the little boxes. Oh, I zoomed in a little bit far. Try to get it to count by ones. There we go. All right, so you find some pretty points. Do you see this one here? Is it -4? We're gonna go, I can't get it all on the screen at the same time. The next pretty point is right there at 2, 1. I can't, oh, there we go. There, that's good. So you're gonna count up from here to here. Do you remember just counting the little boxes? You're all just kind of staring at me, but you can count, right? So if we start here, we're gonna go up, count for me. 2, 3, 4, 5, good. And then over 2. So 5 over 2 is your slope. And then where is your y-intercept? -4. Do you see that there? -4. All right. So it is y equals 5 over 2x minus 4. That's it. You just count the little boxes to get the slope. This is where it touches the y-axis. So your slope is 5/2, and your y-intercept is -4. That's literally all that is. But you didn't write it down, so you're not going to have it to look at next time to study for. What? Yes. All right, and then last one. For this function, the range is given by these values. Find the domain. Is range x or y? Y. Do you see that big hint right there? It has a y. So you're going to have to plug each of these in for y, which is the f of x part. All right. So you're going to have 3x minus 7 equals -1. And then you're going to have 3x minus 7 equals, what's the next one? 3. And then you're going to have 3x minus 7 equals 4. And you're going to just work that out. Miss Cole, are you serious? I have to solve 3 equations? Yeah, you do. It's really not that hard. Can you humor me, please? Yeah. It's just, it's respect because I'm a person. It's respect because I'm a person. So if you could just pick up your pencil, but yeah, it's just a respect thing because I'm a person. Okay. So what would you do to move over the 7? Add, thank you. So plus 7, you get 3x equals. Good, perfect. And then divide by 3, x equals 2. That's your first answer. We're gonna get 3 answers, all right? And it's the same steps. This one, you're gonna add 7. What's that give you? 10. 3 plus 7 is 10. Very good job. Divide by 3. 10 won't divide by 3 nicely, so you would just see if you can reduce it. Can you reduce 10 over 3? No, so just leave it as 10 over 3. There's nothing wrong with that. All right, and then the last one, add 7, you get what? 11? Divide by 3. Can you reduce 11 over 3? No, so just leave it 11 over 3.